justices, court staff, family and friends. To paraphrase the great philosopher Yogi Berra, I want to thank everyone who made this day necessary. Let me begin by thanking the Lord for blessing me. For all the miracles in my life. I went over this like 10 times this week. My cup truly runneth over. Ever since I can remember, I wanted to be a lawyer. Each morning I thank the good Lord for allowing me to be a lawyer and allowing me to help others. I've been blessed with great family and great friends. I'm grateful for each of the blessings on this incredible journey. With God's guidance, I will remain strong and carry on. Judge Garrison, Barbara, and Pamela, thank you for persuading me to do this. I really felt it wasn't necessary. I'm cognizant of everybody's time in this busy world. My good friend, Judge, and now Justice Wilson, who I had the honor of serving with on the Texas Supreme Court on a very significant case. He encouraged me over the years to get this done, but for me, this didn't seem like it was the right time. And COVID-19 changed that with the passing of so many dear friends. And family members, not necessarily from COVID-19, but just the passage of time. And of course, I wanted to do this while I still remember who I am. As each of you said, this occasion would be a good time to give thanks. But there's not enough time to thank everyone. There have been so many people through my entire life that have helped me. And I'm extremely honored by your presence. Thank you for your time, taking time from your busy schedules. This memory will last in my heart forever. David Medina, thank you for your friendship. And Juan, that indeed was a seminal case, the Rodriguez case. It's just incredible that we are put in that path. We're not immigration lawyers, but we know who Peter Williamson is, and we thank the Chamberlain family for allowing us to do that. Larry, thank you, because that was very satisfying. And just let me say this, Judge, in my view, the TXI case was the most significant case that I worked on in Texas Supreme Court. And as I told my children, when that case came out, Justice Guzman was one on that opinion. It was an unanimous opinion, by the way. There was no doubt the court ruled the right way, but I told my children that at the time, I think that was the reason the good Lord put me on the court. Pamela, thank you for your kindness, all that you do, not just for our family, but for the countless hours you spend to make our profession stronger as a director of the Houston Bar Association, as a regent at Texas Southern University, and everything else you do to make our community better. There's no doubt that you have all the attributes to be a great judge, and God willing, you will. And Mr. and Mrs. Vasquez, you have a lovely daughter. Roland, my brother, thank you, sir. You have been with me from the very beginning of my career. You have been a great mentor, a counselor, a dear friend. You and Karen are pillars of our community. You are a blessing in my life. Justice Guzman, it seemed like we just met. I know you're extremely busy campaigning all over Texas. You, Tony, Melanie, and your entire family have been a great part of my life since we met in Boston just a few short years ago. It was a long time ago. It was was truly an honor to serve Texas during the time we were district court judges. And it was so incredibly great to continue to serve Texas with you when we were in the Texas Supreme Court. Your conviction to the rule of law, access to justice, and the many other charities you help is admirable. You've absolutely made a difference in so many lives, including mine. I'm certain that you will continue to do so as you travel across our great state, working hard, working every day to make Texas better. In retired Houston Police Department, her husband, Tony Guzman, he's not here, but we saw him the other day at some event. We see him at all events, I think he's your driver. Thank you for your 25 years of being on the front line, helping keep Texas, and especially Houstonians, safe. To my beautiful children and the entire family, I love you so very much. Lisa Marie, Adam, Ashley Rose, Vincent, Milan, thank you for allowing me to pursue a dream. Thank you for being strong in your faith, your kindness, your generosity, your love for your family, your unconditional love for each other and me. Each of you bring great joy to my heart, and you inspire me. You are my heroes. My father always told my sisters and I to never forget where you came from. When I was a young boy, I didn't quite understand what that meant, but now I believe I do. I'm proud to be BOI. Judge Brown knows what that means. He is IBC. BOI means born on the island. IBC means island by choice. But I actually think Judge Brown is KOI, King of the Island. I'm very proud to have been raised in a rural community of Hitchcock, Texas. The map of that little country town hangs in my office. It was a gift from Pamela a few years ago. I come from loving parents that worked hard to provide shelter in the form of a 2-bedroom home in some places that would be considered a cottage. In Hitchcock, my mother referred to it as a shack, the sugar shack, because it was filled with love. My parents provided food by the way of crops that we grew and the animals we raised. They made sure that we had strong faith by taking us to church every Sunday without fail. They made sure our faith was strong and built on a solid foundation, so that when the valleys of life occurred, it wouldn't wash away like a home built on sand. My faith has sustained me in my most difficult times. It brought me great joy during the blessings and miracles the good Lord has provided. My parents taught us how to take care of each other, to always find a way to help others. I miss my father every day. And I pray that he's pleased with his son. I'm grateful that my mother's still here to provide her unconditional love, to remind her son to stay strong in his faith, and help others. I'm grateful for my 3 younger sisters, Elia, Michelle, and Marlene. They are good to their big brother, and they're very smart. They always include me in our favorite family game, Scrabble, just so they can have somebody to beat. And as Pamela has witnessed, they sometimes even let me take a peek at the official Scrabble word dictionary. That doesn't help much. I am blessed to have been a graduate of South Texas College of Law. When I received my acceptance letter, I rushed down, paid my $100 deposit to make sure they didn't change their mind. I learned so much from the great professors there. I'm grateful they inspired me to become learned in the law. Well, maybe not so much learning, but I like learning the law. I especially thank my dear friend, Dean Gerald T. Treese. He, in my view, put South Texas College of Law on the map by having the best advocacy team in the country. He was fond of saying that the courtroom was the equalizer, and I believe that to be true. I'm grateful to Dean Trees for allowing me to be on his championship moot court team, where I met lifelong friends like Dale Jefferson and Levon Entertainment, who were my coaches. The brilliant Justice Sharon McCauley and Russell Brown, who were my moot court partners, and my dear friend Ray Cox, who passed away just this past Monday. My life has been blessed because of their friendship. And it was there that I met my dear friend Judge Vanessa Velasquez. I saw her earlier. So we were classmates. It was there that I met Eva Ramos. She at the time had a job lined up to be a briefing attorney for Raul Gonzalez, Justice Raul Gonzalez. Justice Raul Gonzalez, the first Latino to be elected statewide in Texas, the first judge of the Texas Supreme Court from a Latino background. He encouraged me to find a path for public service. But at that time, I was focused on getting promoted to the Cooper Industries Law Department. It was a dream at that time for me to become the general counsel, and I was going to find a way to do that. Let me fast forward to Cooper Industries. I want to thank Carl Pleshnicker and the late Alan Riedel and the late Dwayne Emmerich for allowing me to begin my legal career in this incredibly talented Cooper Industries Law Department. There, I was able to learn national and international litigation. That experience has proven to be invaluable. I worked in a variety of litigation business transactions in 46 different states: Canada, British Columbia, Mexico, England, France, Belgium, and Germany. I'm grateful for that opportunity. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to go back to Cooper Industries. Second time to lead a national and international litigation team with a great staff that included my assistant Kenny McKinney, Mike Goldstone, and my friend Amy Blumrosen, who's right there. Amy's a trailblazer in her own right. Thank you, Amy. And to the judiciary, I'm honored that you would take time to be here. Justice, I don't know, you've got other things to do, so does everybody else. But thank you so much for opening your courts. Today, I want you to know that when I was a young lawyer, I was in awe of our judiciary. I remain in awe of our judiciary. The talent pool in Harris County runs deep. Having traveled the world as a lawyer, I can say without reservation, the best judges are in Harris County. That's an applause line. To the lawyers who appeared before me, I learned so much from each of you. Thank you for your patience. Hope that your memory is that I was a good umpire, that I stayed out of the way of your presentation as you represented your clients with your great advocacy skills. And if you lost a bench trial or a motion, please remember, it was never personal. It was only business. I know that this dream would have never occurred without the help of so many friends and family, including my brother Judge Jefferson, Dwight Jefferson. He was the first appointee by Governor Bush. And Governor Bush made a big announcement. I remember that day. He had this big fundraiser. He comes in and says, "This is my man. He's going to be the judge. I want everybody to support him. And if you don't, I'll remember." True story. Some of my friends and family are no longer here. Like Olga Solis, her daughter Itzy is here. Yolanda Navarro Black, my Aunt Dolly, and Uncle Roland. I'm grateful to each of them. And let me thank our dear friend Roland Al Gonzalez. It was Al who opened the path for me to the judiciary. When he was the governor's general counsel, Al urged me to strongly consider and accept an appointment to the bench. And I'm grateful that he did. And I'm grateful to my friend and former president and then Governor George W. Bush for giving a young man from Hitchcock, Texas, an opportunity of a lifetime. There were others who worked behind the scenes, including Raul Garcia, but he's helped so many people. Jacob Monti, Vidal Martinez, my brother and my dear friend, Vinny Augusto. Did he leave?
I'm right here.
Oh.
I'm hiding.
The medal. Thank each of you. And let me take a special moment to thank my dear friend, Frank Harmon. As Judge Jefferson knows, Judge Benton, Judge Guzman, Judge Wainwright, Judge Huddle, a long list of diverse judges would not have had the opportunity to serve Texas, but not for Frank Harmon. It's something that Justice Guzman and I have talked about often, that one day we need to have a tribute for Frank. So this is a small part of it. You're amazing. When I was considering whether or not I should pursue the judiciary, my good friend John Unger, who's in Big Bend today, arranged a meeting with federal judge Lynn Hughes. I'm grateful to John and Judge Hughes for that meeting and for their wise counsel. When I was campaigning, I had help from some very good friends, Greg Lindley and his wife, Wyona, Raul Rodriguez, now Judge Rodriguez, Hrdlicka, my dear friend, and that army of relatives, Galveston County, came down and said, "Do I have to wear your shirt that says Republican? We're all but they did. I mentioned the spiritual foundation my parents helped me build. I would soon need it. The euphoria and excitement of being appointed quickly faded when my oldest son Adam became gravely ill. He was treated for asthma. In fact, he had bacteria and pneumonia. We were told he would not survive. We're grateful that he did. He's a University of Houston journalism graduate, where he was the talent in his broadcast journalism class. He's a good-looking man. Today, he's the owner of Lava Loop Productions, which stands for Lisa, Adam, Vincent, and Ashley. He has a company where he produces a variety of videos and commercials for clients here in Houston, New York, and Florida. The reason I share this is because I want to thank Judge Pat Mizell. Judge Mizell is busy golfing today. But I told him I wanted to thank him publicly anyway. When my son was in ICU and in a medically induced coma, not knowing if he would survive, because we were told that he wouldn't, Judge Mizell, who I did not know very well at the time, arranged for my family to have a place to gather privately and rest while we're in a hospital. That gesture and accommodation was God-sent. And from my entire family, we are forever grateful to Judge Mizell. Last but not least, I was fortunate to have an incredibly great staff, protected by Deputy Bill Norwood when he wasn't sleeping in the jury room. And clerks Ramona and Melissa Garcia. Melissa attended night school at the University of Houston. She later graduated from South Texas College of Law. She and her husband, Captain Lionel Martin, have a successful law firm in Fort Bend County. I had great court reporters. Max, who said, "Judge, we need to take a break, so we're gonna get a bowl of beans." Jojo, Sheila, and the incredible, talented Sherry Aldridge. Her father is Max. He's still court reporter? Oh man, he was great. He taught Sherry well. Had the joy of working with law students that would become great lawyers. and Hrdlicka. Many of you know her as a former president of the Mexican American Bar Association, Hispanic Bar Association. She's just a leader in her own right. Cynthia, and my dear friend, the late Harry Copolis. Harry was brilliant and confident. He once told me that my analysis of the law was flawed. He was right. He left us much too soon. I also had the privilege to work with Barbara Conley, who became a trial coordinator for Judge Hanks, Judge Wilson, and now Judge Garrison. Barbara is smart, loyal to the judiciary, and I believe a tremendous asset to the bench and bar. But for me, the one person on our team who really made the court run efficiently was my good friend, Darla Coons. She was an incredibly dedicated member of our team. She knows how to move a docket. In fact, she kept me so busy that we went from having the highest number of cases at 157 to perhaps the lowest. I think it was the lowest in my first year on the bench. And that was all because she knew how to keep us busy, how to make sure we had cases coming in. And I thank you for that, Darla. And quite frankly, it was something that we used in the re-election, having the lowest number of cases pending in the court. Jeff Joyce knows that. Jeff Joyce has worked with Darla. Jeff is a great trial lawyer in his own right. She's just tremendous. You want to come back? Now, we were so busy that my good friend Judge Davidson called me right after those numbers came out, and he says, "You need to slow down. You can't keep up with your pace, and you're going to burn yourself out in 4 years." Well, 4 years and 4 months later, I rejoined Cooper Industries. But not because I didn't enjoy my time on the judiciary. It just, I thought at that time that would be the best thing to do for my family. I also want to thank the cleaning crew and all the bailiffs that kept our courtrooms clean. They would come in when we were working late, and sure, you know, sometimes we'd stay to 2 o'clock in the morning. I apologize for doing that. But they always took care of us and made sure everything was ready for the next day. I want to thank Benny, Augusto, and Nikki, Jacob Monty, the Mexican American Bar Association for sponsoring whatever's behind that. And thank you to my Chamberlain family for sponsoring the reception. I am blessed to work with an incredibly talented group of attorneys. Juan, David, Kerry Williams, and Jen Binkley, who's no longer with the Chamberlain, she's the general counsel for one of our clients. Thank you for recruiting me to join a great team. Kelly, thank you for always getting my work done. And thank you for all you do for our great litigation team. Jennifer Toohey, Santina, John Meredith, and Larry Compagna, thank you for allowing us to have this reception. And for the record, Jennifer and the Chamberlain team wanted to do much more. They wanted to have hot food, some adult beverages, the works. But because of COVID restrictions, we're limited to bottled water, canned soft drinks, and wrapped tacos. And we are grateful, thank you. Now let me talk about this portrait. It's not finished. So what I have here is a photo from about 25 years ago. I actually don't like it. But as Pamela has promised, it's only temporary. Actually, like some of the pictures that we saw on the screen.
And I'm hanging both.
But I'll tell you, at least the frame looks good. Hamlin picked out the frame. Several friends have made suggestions over the years, including Judge Dan Downey and Judge Randy Wilson. Choosing a temporary photo was a little difficult. But here it is. Now you can cheer, jeer, laugh. I won't be offended. Judge Wilson, this is for you. Judge Wilson wanted this one. Believe it or not, this is not Photoshop. It wasn't taken that long ago. And look here, I'm not sure the cover with it. I've shared a lot of my life with my brother, David Medina. And that's a trophy that I won in Las Vegas. I came out of retirement, trained for an entire year just to see if I could compete. Well, believe it or not, I ended up winning this national championship. I had older people coming around. It's a win for the gray beards, and I did. I came with some rough bruises. So we got that covered. And but here's one that's probably more appropriate. We're going to get a medal. This is from a long time ago. I was about 100 pounds lighter. My hair was black. Okay, here we go. Truly have touched my life. I'm so honored that you're here. There's some refreshments across the street. Let's go get them before they run us out of here. Judges, thank you so much.